Hello, 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 Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia, guys, and this is TransurfingTV. And today on TransurfingTV, one of our manifestation versus materialization. Yay! So much easier, so much less ambiguous, so much more comprehensive in what steps we need to take in order to get what it is we intend to have in our reality creation process. I know for me, all the blanks are filled in. And as I suggested, which I will get into absolutely in this lesson today, when you embark on the reality transurfing journey and decide to dive into this otherworldly knowledge and transform your layer of reality, most people, a lot of people, me, this has definitely been my experience, this thing happens where I don't want the same things that I originally wanted in the same ways. And those worldly desires, and when I say desires, I really do mean to emphasize that here, because desiring these things that everyone wants, that everyone is attempting to pull into their layer of reality, the $1 million, the perfect romantic partner that fits a specific mold, your exact image of what you want a relationship to be with whom, and all these different things that we push and pull for as human beings, without stopping for a moment and considering that there might actually be something higher and better than those things, or that there is something higher and better which will lead to those things, the money, the romantic partner, whatever it is you're looking for, but you'll achieve it in a way that you never really expected. For me, doing what I'm doing right now, I've achieved so many goals, but it wasn't about me actually going after the thing. It was about me dialing in to what my heart really, really wants, what makes life feel like a celebration every day. And in tapping into this feeling, what has happened, and I'll get into this lesson later on down the line, but it's pertinent that I discuss this right now in regards to heart and mind coordination. This thing happens, this magical little event. Well, it's not a little event, it's a groundbreaking event. But when you tune your frequency to your heart and mind, and you dial into what we call the soul frail in reality transurfing, and again, I will get into that in one of the later lessons. But when you do this, you move up those levels of reality to those higher levels where more of what you want exists. So I'm going to break it down for you exactly how heart and mind coordination helps you to navigate yourself to some higher planes of reality where what it is that you want is waiting for you. And it's so much easier. It's so much easier to do it this way. And the other cool thing about it is you don't have high importance levels over the money and the romantic partner and the this happening and the that happening. You're focused on what brings you pleasure and joy. And then everything else is like icing on the cake. and it's absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna break it down for you guys today, but before I do, remember to like this video and subscribe to this channel and comment below. Follow us in the Facebook group, the International Transurfing Institute Facebook group, and follow me on Instagram, reality_transurfing. Also, links to the courses Reality 2.0 and Tufty 2.0 down below. Check them out. Patreon, VIP membership, there's all kinds of stuff down there, so take a gander at it. All right, so heart and mind coordination. This is a doozy. This is a big one. This is a big, meaty topic in the reality transurfing modality, because essentially this is where it's at. This is all where it's at. Heart and mind coordination is sort of the concept where the knowledge splits off into absolutely creating your own reality. So as I like to say, the previous lessons that we have gone over already, and if you've missed any of those, go back and take a look. Those lessons kind of like get you up out of your hole, right? They help you overcome negative thinking and depression and realize your position in the alternative space. Remember that spiral upward to the wave of fortune or the spiral down to the induced transition. And when you get to this part of the knowledge, heart and mind coordination, this is, you've come up out of your hole. You have come up to some of those higher layers of reality where you're actually tuned to accessing higher information, higher and better information that's actually going to assist you in truly building out the reality of your dreams. Now, heart and mind coordination initiates a bunch of other stuff like outer intention and the alternatives flow, which we went over in the previous lesson. These things help you, outer intention, alternatives flow, goals and doors, which we will go over next. These things all assist you in moving to that version of reality where what it is that you want exists in abundance and is more likely to materialize in that layer of reality. But all these things just kind of like get you there a lot easier. So this is where you lose the hustle and grind. This is where you lose inner intention, which we will go into in one of the lessons to come. So this is kind of how I like to look at it. We've got our lifelines. This has been the model that we've used as an example, easy to understand. This is the model that I like to, you know, my brain gets this one. So we have our lower layer of reality here, the induced transition. This is where you don't want to be. And then you have the upper layer of reality, the wave of success, and all the things that you want to have in your life are up on these higher levels. So let's say I'm existing right about here, right? This was me when I read Reality Transurfing and got myself up out of my hole, right? Acknowledged my limiting beliefs, acknowledged the negative thinking, acknowledged the pendulums that were hooking me and bringing me back down to the place that I didn't want to be, the induced transition. And I got myself up out of my hole, and I actually had a moment where I asked myself, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your life? What, as Vadim Zeland says, what would make your life feel like a celebration? And I thought to myself, it's helping people. It would be helping people because I have had such a challenging time in my own journey. I would love to be able to do something to give back. Now, at the time, I didn't quite understand what that looked like, how that was going to work, what I needed to do. All the pieces that are in place now didn't exist. But I knew that something would happen. I knew that something would happen. So I'm here. I'm sort of up out of my hole. I'm contemplating my life, where I want to go, what direction I want to take, what I can do that will absolutely make life feel as though it's a feast and a celebration. And then it comes to me. And again, I'll get into goals and doors in the next lesson, but I encounter my goal, right? I encounter my goal, which is spreading the good word of reality transurfing to the world. So I encounter my goal, and what happens when I encounter my goal is my heart absolutely lights up. And it did. It lit up. And I thought, this is absolutely for me. This is absolutely for me. There is no question. There's no doubt. There's no me asking myself, is this for me? Is this not for me? And I know a lot of you message me and say, I don't have a goal. I don't have any heart and mind coordination. I have this thing in my life and I don't know if my heart and mind are coordinated. Here's the thing with heart and mind coordination. You do not need to ask yourself if your heart and mind are coordinated. You know, it's like an explosion inside of your soul. You absolutely know. So I access this goal, this new information that I'm intended to help spread the word of reality transurfing. My heart absolutely catches fire, right? And says, oh my God, this is it. This is exactly what you've been waiting for. This is what you want. Then my brain goes about getting involved in the logic. So heart says yes, and then mind comes in and says, can I actually make this work? Can we make this work? And my mind had to go through its little process. Okay, what does that look like? And what do I need to do? And what are the logistics? And is it practical? And do I have the skills? And all of the logistical aspects of this endeavor that my heart chose, my brain had to work through. But what happened after that? What happened when both heart and mind coordinated and said, yes, this is it. This was my access. This was my true access to these upper levels. So my goals initiated, my heart's agreed, my mind has agreed. And after that, it becomes about maintaining my levels of awareness so I can recognize, and again, as I suggested earlier, when heart and mind absolutely agree on something, you initiate or activate outer intention. The alternatives flow begins to take you down that stream of variations where you have access to opportunities and events and things that are going to assist in whatever you have set the intention to do. This is called the vector of the flow. So heart says yes, mind says yes. All of a sudden, my goal's chosen. I'm on the path. Outer intention is carrying me. The alternatives flow is carrying me. I'm accessing all the things that I need. Because remember, when you are dialed to your soul frail, your heart and mind have chosen your goal, the goal that's intended for you. You resonate at a frequency that corresponds with a higher layer of reality that is also specifically intended for you. If you let go and you give in to this thing, all of the things of the past, all of the inner intention, the doubting, the worrying, the striving, working from will, ego, all of that stuff, it just starts to fade away. Now, it doesn't go away immediately because remember, programming runs deep and it's not like you're just going to switch. But you will move over to this new modus operandi where things become easier, you're flowing more, things are working out for your favor, and you're accessing the doors that you need. So this is exactly what happened for me. Doors started to present themselves. People started to contact me and want things from me that had to do with reality transurfing, giving seminars in Europe, certifying people, writing lessons, people requesting courses that I made. All kinds of things were coming in my direction. And all I needed to do was show up, answer those calls, going through those doors in the flow, right? Setting the vector of the flow. So I set the vector of the flow, and then it just becomes about me moving with that flow through these doors to some of these higher levels of reality. And here I am, right? Here I am. This is exactly where heart and mind coordination has brought me. And it's amazing. It's a miracle. I never thought I'd wake up in the morning and feel as though I did it, right? I did it. I hacked it. I'm not wondering what my purpose is any longer. I'm not feeling as though life doesn't have any meaning any longer. I'm living my goal, but again, heart and mind had to agree. And then once this fusion happened and everything kicked off, this is when I truly started to climb those different layers of reality. So tomorrow, or the next day rather, we will get into goals and doors specifically and how you can go about sort of getting your environment to offer you more information and events and things that could possibly end up being a goal for you. Because without a concrete goal, without something that your heart and mind absolutely sing over, it's going to be challenging to get yourself up to some of these higher levels of reality. So this should absolutely be your intention going forward if you are looking to evolve your reality transurfing practice. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson, everyone, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.